Life on Earth is made primarily of 6 elements. These are carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, phosphorus, and sulfur. Without the presence of these 6 essential elements, life as we know it ceases to exist on Earth. But here is the twist. When Earth was formed, it did not have the required carbon, nitrogen, and certain other volatile elements for life to begin. So, how did life originate on Earth? Where did these elements come from? Previously, researchers suggested that life may have started on Mars before it arrived on Earth through a series of meteorite strikes. But a new study suggests that instead of a rain of meteorites, it was one giant collision with an ancient planet more than 4 billion years ago that gave Earth the ingredients needed for life. Researchers ran billions of simulations in labs to find out how Earth could have gained its essential chemicals for life to originate. What they found is that the prime candidate would have been a Mars-sized planet striking the Earth about 4.4 billion years ago. This planet would have had a sulfur-rich core, while its mantle and crust contained other elements. When it collided with the Earth, it injected the chemicals necessary for life, like nitrogen, carbon, hydrogen, and sulfur, into the Earth's crust, seeding our baby planet with the elements required for life to originate. While the work does begin to answer the question for how the ingredients for life might have gotten here, it doesn't solve the question of how life itself originated on Earth. Some researchers believe that Mars might have been a better place for life to begin than Earth. Researchers came up with this theory after studying Martian meteorites, which contained 2 elements, boron and molybdenum. Both these elements are important precursors for RNA, which is the single-stranded, non-helical version of DNA that was probably the first building block of life. This RNA can only be created in the presence of highly oxidized molybdenum and boron. 3 billion years ago, when Earth lacked an oxygen-rich atmosphere, this form of molybdenum wasn't available. Back then, Earth was also completely covered in water, and boron can only be found in extremely dry places. On the other hand, 4 billion years ago, long before life started here on Earth, Mars had an oxygen-rich atmosphere where oxidized molybdenum could be found and dry areas where boron could form in high concentrations. If all the conditions were right, simple RNA-based organisms could have actually originated on Mars. From there, it wouldn't be too hard for it to hitch a ride to Earth on a meteorite. This leads to some interesting questions. If life originated on Mars, where is Martian life now? Did life on Mars arise independently, or was it seeded from another planet through the exchange of organic material or even living organisms? If life did form on Mars, it's entirely possible that it's still there. Perhaps the only way to know for sure is to head to Mars and see for ourselves.